another thing about college that was super wild to me, and another thing about like high school that was bananas to me was niggas started fucking really early. Like, I was watching a video and they're like, oh, the average age that someone has sex is like 16 or 17. I'm like, where? And they were like, here. And I'm like, isn't that kind of young? And people were like, no. Like, when did you have sex? And I was like, who, me? And I was like, no. And it made me think, like, do you feel there's a stigma around like being a virgin?
Yeah, I feel like definitely people look down upon you.
Why?
There's got to be some, because
there has to be something wrong with you.
Has to be something wrong. Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a virgin. I don't really care. And I think for me, it helps that I don't really like people that much. So when people are like, I'm like, I don't really
don't care about
either
it.
way.
I'd rather focus on myself.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've never been shy to tell people. I really don't care. But I can tell when I tell people, it's very much like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, bro, there are two things I tell people that people look at me like I'm an alien. The first one is that I don't drink. The second one is that I'm a virgin. I don't know if it makes people think that there's something wrong with me. I think it's twofold. I think it makes people think there's something wrong with me. I also think it makes people think I'm very religious. I think it makes people think I'm a super Christian, right? Which is very ironic. But like, and maybe it makes people want to shy away from me in that regard, or I don't know, but my entire life, I've always noticed that when you know, virgins, especially, and it's different. I think lady virgins, not as much. I can't speak to it. And someone could, I would really appreciate it. But like, dudes, if you're a virgin, there's a lot more on both ends, right? I think ladies think something's wrong with you, and dudes think that you're inadequate.
Yeah.
And I always found that super wild.
Yeah, it's a social stigma. I mean, I don't know why it is. It's just definitely dudes be like, you can't get no bitches. That's literally exact. That's what they're saying.
I don't, and I think that it's, I don't know. I don't feel bad about it. Is there something wrong that I don't feel bad about it?
No.
It's not something I'm dying to tick off my box. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, it's your own freaking opinion. I mean, just try not to value other people's, because I mean, it's gonna change the way you think about it. If you're comfortable with it and you have no problem with it, why in the world would you go about changing it?
I don't want to. I don't want to change it, but I'm trying to. You know me, I'm trying to peel back the layers of the onion. I want to know, maybe those are the only two reasons, but I want to know why, from maybe a more analytical perspective of why it seems as though being a virgin is like very taboo.
I think it just comes back to you're viewed as there's something wrong.
There's like there's a deficiency.
Yeah.
Right? Like an inadequacy.
Yeah,
you can't complete something.
He's weird. You know, can't hold a relationship. Girls don't like him. You know, something along those.
What's wrong if girls don't like you?
You're not seen as desirable. There's something about you that is a turnoff.
But is that your fault or is that other people's fault? Right? Because
a mix of both.
Right? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not wearing shoes. I'm wearing sandals, so my entire body is fighting the cold.
I mean, yeah,
it's hard for me to think.
These shoes are definitely not the most like
the
they're very airy.
so you can feel the wind hitting them.
Yeah.
But like I'm thinking, to your point, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with you. Why should you care, right? People are subjective, so what one person finds wrong with you, another person might not find wrong with you. My issue with the stigma and the slander is that it seems as though if one person finds something wrong with you, a lot of other people won't even give you the opportunity. You get what I mean? Like if you are labeled as XYZ, people don't even come to, it's kind of like you have a how do you explain it? I remember for my undergrad, we had to do these booths, right? And it's kind of like you had these booths and you had a project that you're explaining. It's almost kind of like if someone says, his project isn't really that good, people start believing it.
Yeah.
And then there's more hype about you than actual reality, and they won't come to your booth, right? And for me, this is where I've always stood, which is, if you're not willing to question, I don't really need you in my life, right? If you're so eager to believe what you hear, you're a fool, and I don't really deal with fools, right? And that's where I stand on it. But maybe in what I'm learning more and more throughout the show and throughout my life is my standpoints aren't necessarily the best standpoints. I tend to be more radical in what I believe. So I'm trying to pull it back a little bit. So that's why I'm asking you, should I be more worried that I don't care about this? That's my question.
No.
Should I be more worried that I don't care that I have never slept with anyone?
No, not at all.
So that one I'm right.
Again, perception.
Right?
Yeah. You think about, we were talking earlier about fumbling the bag over stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of comes back to that. Are you going to give up your peace of mind in chasing something that you've gone without, has an impact on your life?
Exactly.
Why are you going to change it, to go chase something that may not even...
For other people.
Yeah.
So I can be accepted by other people.
Fuck that.
I've never been able to rationalize it, but yeah, it's tiggy taboo. But I've been doing some scientific research about it. I think that over the age of 25, something like less than 5% of people are virgins, which blew my mind in America, which I thought was pretty. I'm like, niggas be fucking, it blew my mind. It just seems, and it's such a weird idea because it's almost as if it's a rite of passage for people. So much so that I think people do it not because they enjoy it, just because it's gotta tick that box. It's like getting a license.